So the next concept is techniques of scientific management. So under techniques of scientific management, the first concept we are going to discuss is functional foremanship. Okay, so in the factory system, the foreman represents the managerial figure with whom workers are in face-to-face contact on a daily basis. So in the first chapter, I told you about the levels of management. So levels of management, one is top level management, the second one is middle level management, and the third one is lower level management. So this supervisor or foreman comes under the lower level of management. So foreman is the lowest ranking manager and highest ranking worker in an organization. Is a lowest ranking manager. So when coming to the levels of management, he is in the lowest level management, so it's called as, or he comes under the lowest ranking manager and highest ranking worker. Yes, so under supervisor or under foreman, you can find different kinds of workers. So this person who is a supervisor or a foreman in the organization acts as a link between the worker and the management. So that is why he is called, or he is put under the highest ranking worker. So he is the one who concentrates on the entire production, planning and implementation as well as control of the organization. Yes, is the one who takes active participation, or who is the one who concentrates on the entire production, planning, implementation and control of the organization. Okay, so the person, that is Taylor, he wanted to improve the performance of the functional, that is foreman. Yes, Taylor wanted to improve the performance of foreman or a supervisor. Okay, so what Taylor did is he identified a list of qualities of a good foreman. So what are the qualities a good foreman should have? So ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲ ಒಬ್ಬ foreman ಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ supervisorಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ qualities ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಟೇಲರ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ನೋ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕುಡ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್. ನೋ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕುಡ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರೋರು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಟೇಲರ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಟೇಲರ್ failed to get one single person who has all these qualities. So what he did is he suggested functional foremanship. He suggested functional foremanship through 8 persons. Yes, he suggested functional foremanship through 8 persons. Yes, so what Taylor did is he advocated separation of planning and execution function. So planning anna matte execution function ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, separate ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so this is called as functional foremanship. So this concept of was extended to the lowest level of the shop floor. So this was called as functional foremanship. That is the distribution of work into 8 persons. Yes, that is distribution of functional foremanship through 8 persons. That is separation of planning and execution functions. So this is called as functional foremanship. Okay, so under the factory manager, there was a planning in charge and a production in charge. Under a factory manager, there was planning and a production in charge. So under planning in charge, 4 personals. Yes, under planning in charge, there were 4 personals. One is instruction card clerk, the second one is route clerk, third one is time and cost clerk, and the fourth one is disciplinarian. The fourth one is disciplinarian. Okay, so all these people. Yes, so these 4 people were the instruction card clerk should draft instruction for the workers. Yes, the work of an instruction clerk is to draft instruction for the workers. The route clerk or the work of a root clerk is to specify the route of production. Yes, instruction card clerk ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ to draft instruction to the worker. So ಏನು instructions ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ instruction card clerk ದು. root clerk ದು to specify the route of production. His work is to specify the route of production. The third one is time and cost clerk. The work of time and cost clerk is to prepare time and cost sheet, and the work of disciplinarian is to ensure discipline. The work of disciplinarian is to ensure discipline. So under factory manager you had two. Under factory manager you had two people, the one with planning in charge and the other one is production in charge. Under production in charge, four personnel. Yes, namely one is instruction card clerk, the second one is root clerk, third one is time and cost clerk, and the fourth one is disciplinarian. The work of instruction card clerk is to draft instructions to the worker. The work of root clerk is to specify the route of production. The work of time and cost clerk is to prepare time and cost sheet, and the work of a disciplinarian is to ensure discipline in the organization. So we have already spoken about the first part, that is the planning in charge and the people, the personnel who come under planning in charge. The second one is production in charge. So under production in charge, just like how we had in planning in charge, we have four people. One is speed boss, the second one is gang boss, the third one is repairs box, and the fourth one is inspector. One is speed boss, second one is gang boss, third one is repair boss, and the fourth one is inspector. Okay, so the first person, that is a speed boss, was responsible for timely and accurate completion of job. So you have to see that the work is getting done in time, and there is accuracy in the work. Okay, the second one was gang boss. The work of gang boss is keeping machines and tools ready for operation by workers. Keeping machines and tools ready for operation by workers. Okay, the third one is repair boss. So the work of a repair boss is to ensure proper working condition of machines. The work of a repair boss is to ensure proper working conditions of machine, and the work of an inspector is to check the quality of the work. The work of an inspector is to check the quality of work. Okay, so this functional foremanship is an extension of principles of division of work and specialization. It is a extension of principles of division of work and specialization. So each worker will have to take orders from these 8 foremen. Each worker in the organization will have to take orders from these 8 foremen in the related process or function of production. Okay, so foremen should have intelligence, education, judgment capacity, special knowledge, energy, honesty, and good health. So since all these qualities could not be found in single person, Taylor proposed 8 specialists. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸನ್ನು ಒಬ್ಬನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣದಿರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, Taylor brings up with these 8 specialists. Okay, so each specialist is to be assigned work according to his qualities. Each specialist in the organization is to be assigned work according to his qualities. Okay, so the next concept is standardization and simplification of work. Standardization and simplification of work. So we have heard about standardizing or standardization. So standardization is nothing but the benchmark, which we have to reach. Yes, it is something like objective which an organization can achieve. So organization will have, or each and every organization will have certain standards which has to be taken into consideration. Okay, so when coming to your standardization, so standardization refers to a process of setting standards for every business activity. So for every business activity there has to be certain benchmark or standards which has to be set. Okay, so it can be like standardization of process, it can be standardization of raw material, standardization of product conditions. Okay, so these standards are, like I told you, they are the benchmarks which can be used or which can be taken care during production. Okay, so there are certain objectives of standardization. So what is the reason behind having this standardization? The first one is to reduce a given line or product to fixed types, sizes and characteristics. To reduce a given line or product to fixed types, sizes and characteristics. Okay, so while you produce a product, you can't produce any product in the way which you like, which is not of even size or even characteristics or fixed type. Okay, so when there is standardization, what you do is like you can standardize the type of product, saying that you are producing this particular kind of product, or the product which you are producing is of this size and it has certain characteristics. So this is what is called as standardization. Okay, so you are putting up certain benchmark for the products which you are producing, okay, when it comes to your business. Okay, so the size may be, or the characteristics may be, or the type of product which you are producing, you are fixing up a certain what size and characteristics and also the line of product. So this is what I'm going to produce. Okay, the second one is to establish interchangeability of manufactured parts and products. To establish interchangeability of manufactured parts and products. So you standardize the thing in such a manner that the manufactured parts and products are interchangeable. So there is interchangeability of manufactured parts and products. So for that we'll have to have a standardization. The third one is to establish standards of excellence and quality in material. So you should have a standardization to establish, or you fix a benchmark to establish standards of excellence and quality in material. So the product or the quality which you are providing, it may be product or something, so you should see that, or you should have a benchmark saying that there should be quality in the material, or that is, or there should be standards of excellence and quality in the material which is provided. The fourth one is to establish standards of performance of men and material. To establish standards of performance of men and machines. So you should see that how men and machines in the organization has performed, whether they are getting performed or whether the work is getting done according to the standards or benchmark or the target which is fixed by the organization. So these are all the things which comes under standardization. The next one is simplification. So what is simplification? So in your primary classes or in your high school classes, you might have heard about simplifying the sum. Yes, or simplifying a particular amount to its least value. Okay, so in the same way, in this concept, what is simplification? So here the principles of management, simplification, or in the business organization or in the management, simplification aims at eliminating superfluous varieties, sizes and dimensions. Yes, simplification, it aims at eliminating unnecessary or superfluous varieties, sizes and dimension. So simplification aims at eliminating unnecessary diversity of product. Yes, okay. So when you compare your simplification with your standardization, simplification aims at eliminating superfluous variety, sizes and dimension. Standardization implies diversing new varieties instead of existing one. Diversifying or diversing new varieties instead of existing one. So simplification aims at eliminating unnecessary diversity of product. So simplify, ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಏನು ಅನ್ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೆಸೆಸರಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ in the same way here also simplification is nothing but eliminating unnecessary diversity of things. Okay, so why this simplification is made is, when simplification is made, it results in saving of cost of labor, machines and tools. When there is simplification in the organization, it leads to saving of cost of labor, machines and tools. It implies reduced inventories, fuller utilization of equipment and increasing turnover. So it results in reduction or saving of labor, machines and tools. It is cost of labor, cost of machines and tools, and also it implies reduced inventories, fuller utilization of equipment and increasing turnover.